Hi guys, this is Charlotte, and I just wanted to talk to you today about promoting your blog across social media. This video is probably going to be quite boring because I'm not actually going to be doing anything really on my screen. I'm kind of just using this as notes because I tend to forget everything I'm going to say as soon as I start recording. Um, I probably should film me talking, that might be a bit more interesting, but it's late at night and probably not a pretty sight. So, if you're sorry, my throat. Every time I go to do a YouTube video, my throat really plays up. Um, what was I going to say? Yes, if you're more interested in seeing something that looks visually interesting, then probably just close this video now because it's not going to be. But if you're interested in hearing what I have to say about social media, then keep watching or listening. That's a good point. Maybe I should have done a podcast. Oh well, anyway. Right, so social media, promoting your blog. First of all, this is like my little mini notes. So the first thing I want to say is focus on what you enjoy. Um, that seems quite obvious, doesn't it? But I think as like bloggers, sometimes we kind of feel that we need to be, promoting our blog everywhere, being like visible on all different social media sites. Like especially like Twitter, it moves so fast. Sometimes it seems that you're never there, even though you are. Because as soon as you've written something, like a minute later, it's kind of gone. Um, so it can be kind of um, what's the word, like time consuming, trying to be on all these places, and also it kind of takes the joy out of it. If you really enjoy being on social media, but then you kind of feel like, oh, I have to do this for the blog, or I'm expected to do this, or I need to be here, or that sort of thing, then I don't think there's much point in doing it, to be honest. I know it might be good for the blog, but if you're not enjoying it, people can probably tell. They can probably see that it feels forced. And also, like, why are you doing it? Obviously, if for your main blog posts, you can set up a schedule to like share them on different social media networks, and then it means you have the time to actually enjoy them. Um, like Pinterest, I schedule pins, but I also still, I really enjoy Pinterest and I sit and pin things for ages. Like, what was I gonna say? I forgot. Yeah, I might not pin anything. I might not really be in the mood to pin anything for like a whole week. Um, and then during that time, obviously, I'm not gonna really be seen by anyone on Pinterest. So that's why I schedule my pins. So I have pins like being pinned every hour or so. Um, but I don't actually have to be there. So again, if I like suddenly decide to go away for the weekend, I don't think, oh, I'm gonna be like absent everywhere, because I'll still have my scheduled stuff going up, and it gives me the time to actually enjoy it. Like if I'm on Twitter, I can actually chat to people and not worry about being on there trying to like post like my blog posts and things. I hope that makes sense. And also another thing about enjoying it, I recently deleted my Facebook page from my blog, which is crazy. I spent ages like researching this and like Googling to see if anyone else has done this. And ever I looked, it's like talking about how important Facebook is for your blog. But I don't like it, I don't enjoy it anymore. I feel it sucks the fun out of it. I think Facebook is what's the word? Making it hard for bloggers to even get people to see their posts. Um, and I was spending more and more time trying to get stuff seen, trying to improve like my Facebook, and still I was getting like 10 people see my posts, and like a couple of them maybe clicking through. And if you had visited my Facebook page, you would have seen it looked, even though I had followers, it looked like I was talking into thin air. It looked like I had a rubbish blog that no one was interested in. no one wanted to like talk or be engaged, that sort of thing. Whereas if you actually go to my blog and you look at the comments, a lot of the posts do have comments, and um, go on Twitter, and I like chatting to people on Twitter. Whereas I don't think Facebook really represents my blog anymore, and I don't want to be seen in a way that I feel doesn't really fit me or my blog. So I decided keep the stuff I like and just get rid of what I don't. And although I think I found one post about this online, and I think it was Copyblogger. Um, but everywhere else, it was kind of like, sorry, that's my dog. He thinks I'm ignoring him tonight. Hello, Luca. Hey, no, get off, get off. Luca, I will play with you in a minute, I promise. Sorry, tail in my face. Yeah, so I don't know. I felt kind of like I was kind of breaking some unwritten rule of bloggers or something. It was weird, but it was liberating too. And I should probably stop yabbering on about Facebook now. Oh yeah, so that's don't be scared to do something different. Everyone I know has a Facebook page for their blog. People work really hard on them. I don't think it's worth it anymore, so I got rid of mine. Schedule. Yeah, spoke about scheduling. Um, okay, this IFTTT, that is a website called If This Then That, I think it's called, and I use it. I love it. It has all like the social media platforms I use. It links to like WordPress, Blogger, whatever you use to blog. And the only thing I think it hasn't got is Google Plus, but you can still set up. It takes a bit of work, and I don't bother doing it. But you can set it up to like send an email to your like Gmail account, and then that will publish to Google Plus. But I don't bother doing that. But for my other social media networks, it's great because once you've connected them all, as soon as you write a blog post, if they're all connected properly, it will post to Twitter, post to Facebook if you use it. Um, you can even get it to post to Instagram. What else? And also, I've got it on like Instagram to Twitter and Facebook. So if I post a picture on Instagram, it will then post it on Twitter and Facebook for me. So that's quite nice. So I have that. So automatically, I know as soon as I've posted a blog post, I don't need to do anything. I don't need to promote it, except on Google Plus. Everywhere else, it automatically does it for me. And I also set it up so on Twitter, sorry, it pulls the featured image from the post. Um, and then I found since doing that, I get more like engagement and like retweets and things like that on Twitter when it's got, the image attached to it. So that's really handy. And share buttons, the other thing. It's kind of like controversy about share buttons because I've read quite a bit about people like removing their share buttons and not using them. And by share buttons, I mean, when you go on a blog page and either at the bottom of the post or towards the side, there has like buttons to social media things for you to share that post. And I read something quite interesting a while ago that said if people really enjoy your post and they want to share it, they're going to share it. They'll just copy and paste the link. And it's pretty simple. It takes 2 seconds. It's like maybe altogether 5 seconds longer than pressing a share button and sharing from there. So, the plugins can slow your site down. Things can go wrong with them. All sorts of things. But for people that still want to share posts, an alternative I've seen looks like it's probably a really good idea is people put at the bottom of their posts, a couple of bloggers I've seen do this, they put the most, what one is it, relevant one or two like social media networks. Like if it's a nice recipe or something with really great like pinnable images, at the bottom they might put pin this post like really big. And then because you don't have a big like row of all different icons staring at you thinking some people just look and then they kind of can't be bothered. Whereas if they see one like call to action, like pin this, they're like, oh yeah, why not? I'll do that. Um, so I hope that makes sense. But I know share buttons are still really popular. I'm actually thinking about getting rid of mine, but I don't know. I'm not saying don't use share buttons at all. For some blogs they work really well. Just yeah, maybe it's something to think about. So I'm just going to go through these social media networks quickly, some of the things I wanted to say about each one of them. Twitter. Sorry, I sound out of breath. I'm like laying on my front and I'm kind of like scrunched up in front of my laptop. Anyway, Twitter. Okay, so you can schedule your tweets on Twitter, and people use a couple of different methods for doing this. I think there's Buffer, Hootsuite, is it called? I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, what you can do is maybe once a week, you can sit and decide like your tweets for the week and schedule them to go out. And what you can also do on either WordPress or Blogger, I don't know about other platforms, if you've got posts in drafts or posts that are scheduled to be posted that week, you can still underneath the like post title, it should show you the what the URL will be once it's posted. So even though they're not published yet, you can still copy and paste that URL and put it into like your tweets, so that it will once the post is posted, your tweets will still link to that even though you've scheduled them before you've posted your post. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. What else was I gonna say? Yeah. So I generally, if I'm scheduling for Twitter, I would schedule my own posts and maybe other like relevant posts that I found from other blogs or articles that I've read that are really interested in that sort of things. I don't schedule things like, so what everyone's up to this weekend, or more like chat sort of tweets, because I think they're better when you're kind of in the mood to actually use Twitter and sit and tweet. Um, and then you're there as well. You can like respond and stuff. So I don't think scheduled tweets work as well for them sort of things, but for like articles and blog posts and things, you can also randomly schedule things like, say it's near Christmas, you could put um, see my Christmas Pinterest board for amazing crafts, DIYs, recipes, whatever. And you could do that for like every season. Like it's coming up to Valentine's, you could schedule a couple of tweets. Come see my Valentine's Pinterest board with a link. That sort of thing. Or even the same with Facebook. You could schedule tweets that link to your like certain posts on your Facebook page. And that just kind of helps the like people going from one social media thing to the other. So if you've got people that only follow you on Twitter, then they might start following you on other networks too. What do I say? Yeah, on Twitter, I don't. Some people do this. I don't really do this, but because I don't use Twitter every day. But every day that I do use Twitter, I do have a look. I only follow people that I actually want to follow. I'm not going to follow people for the sake of it. How I find like relevant sort of people to follow is that I look at people I'm already following, especially if they're like other bloggers and things. Like I follow some like lifestyle bloggers, some kids craft sort of bloggers, some more outdoorsy sort of bloggers. Um, and then I might click at them and see who they're following, and then look at anyone who looks like interesting. I'll have a look at their Twitter account, and also if it links to, if they have a blog or website or something, have a look at that as well. And if they look interesting, then I will follow them. So I don't follow just anyone. I follow people who I actually would like to follow and engage with, and people that are relevant. Uh, what else did I put? Tweet. Okay, yeah. So this is something I don't do, but I'm gonna try and start doing. So if someone writes a blog post that you really like, go on the Twitter and just say, "I love this post from you. I found this really helpful," or something. If you have people that you're quite close to or you talk to a lot on Twitter, you can tweet them things like, "Hi, how was your weekend?" and stuff like that. I don't really do that, but I think it's quite nice, especially if you're, telling people that you like something they've done, or you found something helpful on their blog. I think that's quite sweet. Um, yeah, so if you're on Twitter and things pop up, then obviously if it's relevant, retweet it. I find it quite interesting when I look at people's Twitter accounts and I see it's all just a list of like their own posts and stuff. I think it's a bit more interesting, and I think they'll be posting more kind of a range of things if I see them like retweeting interesting stuff from other people as well. Um, okay, so yeah, if you write a blog post and you mention a company in it, either you've done a review, or maybe you've done like a gift guide, or maybe even you've done like a recipe and you've got one of the ingredients from a certain place, or um, or you've been somewhere. If you have blogged that you've stayed in a hotel or been to a theme park or anything like that, or even if you've blogged about and actually mentioned someone by name, like you saw a post and it inspired you to do something, and then in the post you mentioned that it was inspired by this person. Whatever you mention on your blog, if they have a Twitter account, tweet them. So post put the link, a picture if possible, and tag them in it, and then they usually retweet it. Not everyone, but quite a lot of people will retweet stuff that they've been tagged in, or if someone's written about them or their products and they want to share that, so they'll retweet it. Especially if they have a big audience, then you can get more followers that way, because if you've got something in common, then their followers might want to follow you too. Hashtags, yeah, Twitter. Hashtags are quite good on Twitter. Some of the really like popular overused ones are not great. Like if there's a really popular TV show on, sometimes you get pages and pages and pages of like tweets with a hashtag for that, and they're not usually relevant to your blog, so I don't know how worth it is. But for things that are relevant to your blog, like if I wrote a post about if I wrote a post that I made a outdoor kitchen, like a mud kitchen, with my kids, then I might tag it like mud kitchen, outdoor play, um, kids in nature, all sorts of things. Not too many hashtags, but maybe like 3 or 5, and then people can click them hashtags and see your post will come up in that link of like with all the hashtags. So that's quite a good way of finding relevant stuff as well, and also finding bloggers that are in your like sort of category and stuff. Um, the only thing about Twitter hashtags, there's some of them that I really dislike, and they are, what are they, like PR request, blogger request, journo request, and they are fine when people like use them properly. Like if somebody a company like wants a blogger to review something, or if a journalist wants to get like a quote or some information, that's fine. But oh my god, they get flooded with bloggers saying, "Oh, I want this, I want to review this, I'm doing a gift guide, send me stuff." um what else did they say? Oh yeah, sponsor me for this. yeah, it just, I don't know. I think it makes bloggers look a bit desperate and greedy. That's probably a whole other post on its own. If you're gonna hashtag in that area of Twitter, just think about what you write before you actually post it, because honestly, some of them posts just looks, well, I don't know. I'm probably gonna get slated for this now. And also, if you're going to post in there, don't post every day. I've seen some people posting for sponsorship for like blog conferences and stuff, like every day or every other day. Um, yeah, it's just a bit, I don't know. What else was I going to say about Twitter? I can't believe I've spoken 20 minutes and I've only got through Twitter. Um, so Twitter parties, I think that's what they're called. I can't remember the proper name, but it's basically they're really cool. Some like companies or brands or bloggers have like a specific one, and it's at a certain time, like every week. Some of them are random one-off ones, but whatever they are actually really interesting, and you get ones for all different topics. Like there are one for bloggers, which one can't even remember what it is. There's one once a week, and they talk about different things with bloggers, and it's for a certain hour, and everyone uses the same hashtag, and everyone can chat together for that hour, ask questions, answer questions, and it's kind of like being in a little chat room. So you just click the hashtag, and you can follow along the conversation on there. And I find I get new followers and stuff from that as well, especially like the blogging ones if I give tips and things. Um, yeah, and it's a good way to connect with people who are passionate about the same things as you. For example, I don't really write a lot about education, but it's something I'm really passionate about. And there are some like education Twitter chats, so I love like following along and joining in them, even though it's not to do with my blog. um you generally, yeah, you can always learn new stuff, meet new people. It's like a little mini networking hour on Twitter. It's really good, and you can find out about them basically through other bloggers, or if you search hashtags of like similar things that you write about, or some of your interests. You can find Twitter chats for them. Um, Link to Pinterest. Oh, I mentioned that, didn't I? Whew, right, let's get on to Pinterest. So before we talk about promoting your blog through Pinterest, make sure your images are optimized for Pinterest. So if you write a post, a recipe for example, and you've got like a picture in that post, and it's a picture of like some of the ingredients like scattered around your kitchen counter, and that's it, that's the whole picture. Nobody's, well, most people probably aren't going to pin that to Pinterest. If you think of Pinterest as something where people like to be inspired, they love nice pictures, they like being able to see at a glance what something's for. So try and get a really nice picture on your post, a really clear picture. People prefer on Pinterest like vertical pictures, so they're like portrait kind of size rather than horizontal or landscape. And also put some text on the picture. You don't always have to, but I think it helps people pin it rather than having to look through to the blog post to see what it is actually about. So if I was doing a recipe, I would do a lovely picture of the finished product, make it nice and bright, put some text on it, like, I don't know, the best chocolate brownies or something in 5 minutes. And then at the bottom, make sure you put like your watermark or website, because some people like to save pictures and then re-upload them to Pinterest. I don't know why, and it loses like the link to your site. But if you've got your website there, then at least other people can find out if it does get pinned and it doesn't direct to your site. At least people can find out where it come from and come back to your blog from it. Um, oh, and a pin it button. Obviously, yeah, just add a pin it button. So you can get the ones that hover over the images when you put your mouse over them. and there's also you get the little red pin it buttons under you can put under images, and also you can make sure you disable pinning for images you don't want to pin on your blog too by using the no what is it? I can't remember. I think it's no pin. I can't remember. But you can look it up, and it will just stop people accidentally pinning things like things in your sidebar you might not want pinned because you'd want them to actually click through and pin from the actual post. So things like that. Anyway, schedule pints. Ignore that. That's meant to be schedule pins, I'm sure. So there's loads of ways to schedule your pins. A lot of them you pay depending on how much you schedule. Like some of them say for if you can schedule 1,000 pins and you pay, like £10 or whatever. The one I use is Viralwoot, which used to be Pinwoot, and it's free for a certain amount of pins. And they also do this really weird thing with seeds, which is basically like internet pretend money, I guess. And you can offer it, so you offer seeds for like people to follow you and stuff. I don't really bother with that too much, but it's great for scheduling pins. And then literally what I do is just like say on a Sunday night, I will think about what I want to pin. So at the moment it's near Christmas, so I might want to pin some Christmas and New Year's stuff. If I'm not really sure what to pin, I generally like search on Pinterest for something like Christmas crafts or something, and then I can click and look through at some pin boards that I don't follow, and anything that I really like the look of that I haven't pinned before, I click through to their blog posts. And with Viral, you get like a little, it's like the pin it thing in your toolbar, but it says schedule pins, and you just click it and put the time and date that you want to schedule it. So I usually schedule like one every hour or so. But I'm gonna probably run out of them soon because you only get a certain amount of free scheduled pins before you have to pay. So I need to have a look more closely at that. But it's great, and I've really seen. I used to get like a couple of followers or repins a day, and sometimes I log in at the moment and I've got like 50 followers and repins and stuff, which is really amazing. So it's really helped my Pinterest. Organized pin boards, yeah. I hate if I click onto someone's pin board and it's really unorganized. Like mine has, like the top row, it has current stuff. Like at the moment, it's got Christmas, winter play for kids, like outdoor winter play and stuff. Elf on the Shelf, New Year's, DIY gifts that you can make, and things like that. And then it goes through to like I've got all my kids' activities boards, so I've got like science, maths, outdoor play, things like that. Then I've got more like specific kids' activities boards, like cardboard box play, how to make a mud kitchen, crafts with egg cartons, things like that. Then I've got my seasonal posts in order. So I've got like, except for the ones that I've got at the top of my pin board, I've got the rest of them there. So it will have like Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. What comes after that? In the UK, Mother's Day comes after that. Easter, and I go along as the year goes along, they're all there. Then I've got like my home post, then I've got inspiration, like my random acts of kindness board, my, stuff like that. So it's basically in order. And then at the end, I have all my group boards. And at the top, the first board I've got is my blog board. So anytime I write a post on my blog that I think is Pinterest worthy, I pin it to that blog board, and then later I can pin it from that board to like group boards or my boards that it fits into. Um, what else was I saying? Oh, have a blog board, yeah. Yeah. So when you're scheduling your pins, schedule your own pins as well. Um, to pin from your own blog board to relevant group boards you're in. And yeah, try and do it as often as you can, but not too much. So I only do it maybe like once a month because I don't want to flood the group boards. But I know people that do it like a couple of times a week, so it's up to you. And you tend to get new followers as well, and things like that from group boards, and a lot more repins than you might get usually. Follow a couple of people each day. Again, it's like Twitter. I only follow relevant people, people who I actually really like their Pinterest boards. I either do it from when I'm on like people's blogs. I click follow on Pinterest, or I look for like things, or I use a search bar on Pinterest to look for like boards and things that I'm interested in, and have a look. And if they've got nicely organized boards and they're all relevant, then I just tend to follow them, like follow everything. Whereas if it's just like one board that I'm interested in, I'll follow that board. I've also heard a lot about commenting on Pinterest. It's not something I've done or see a lot of, but some people like to comment, and they say that's quite good because not a lot of people do it on Pinterest. So it's quite obvious. Like if there's a really good craft or something, you could put, "Oh, I tried this today and it worked out really well. Thank you for doing it or pinning it or whatever." And it kind of makes you stand out a bit, I think. Um, Follow back, yeah. So when people follow me, I tend to click through and have a look at their Pinterest, and if I like it, then I follow them back. Oh, and the other thing about Pinterest is again, I think it's quite controversial because Pinterest themselves say not to use hashtags, and most bloggers I know, I think 98% of bloggers I speak to say don't use hashtags, they don't work on Pinterest, you shouldn't use hashtags, blah blah blah. I personally love using hashtags on Pinterest. I don't understand when people say they don't work. I'm probably missing something, but if I see a pin with a hashtag, like if I saw a great recipe and there was a hashtag in it, like brownie recipes, I think, oh yeah, I'll see some more brownie recipes. I click on it, and just like other social networks, when you click on it, it comes up with a load of other brownie recipes that have been hashtagged. And it's good because not so many people use hashtags that it comes up with like a smaller selection. It's really nice to go through. I love using hashtags and I always use them on Pinterest. Don't always use them myself on posts, but I love using them to find new stuff that don't. Sometimes I search on, use the Pinterest search, and things don't come up, but then I click on a hashtag and ta-da, there's all the things that I love to see. So I don't understand why people say don't use hashtags on Pinterest. I really don't. But if anyone can enlighten me on that, please let me know. Um, that's pretty much it for Pinterest, I think. Google Plus. I'm not very good at Google Plus. I really enjoy it. I think it's an amazing alternative to Facebook. It took me ages to get the hang of it though. I'm still learning now because it's quite different to Facebook. It's got kind of a big learning curve, but I really love it. So on Google Plus, you have your circles and communities. Um, so communities, I think, do you know, I haven't even used Google Plus for ages. I'm just thinking the communities, I think that's what they're called. They're like Facebook groups, and they're really good places to promote your blog posts. So I'm just thinking, if I do like a kids craft, I'm in a few like communities for arts and crafts, for kids crafts, for parenting, things like that. And I share that blog post with an image from the post, and it displays so nicely on Google Plus. Honestly, pictures look terrible on Facebook most of the time. They really alter the quality, and I actually noticed that when I started using Google Plus, just how crappy things look on Facebook. Um, and also on Google Plus, at the moment, probably will change one day. You don't have this silly, oh, you have 1,000 followers, but only 20 of them saw your post type thing. Pay if you want more people to see. Again, as I said, it will probably change one day, but at the moment you don't. So you get loads of reposts and comments and likes and shares and things on Google Plus, especially if you pin to like relevant communities. And I love it. I think it's great. And then the communities, I'm just thinking, I'm not sure if they're actually called that. I think they are. But anyway, they're categorized as well. So you could click on one that says arts and crafts, and then it's also got like little sub categories in it. So it might have like painting, papercraft, I'm just thinking what sort of things. I can't remember. Anyway, so you can post your blog post into the most appropriate place, and the people that are looking for them go exactly there to have a look, and so it gets loads of engagement and sharing. So that's really great. Google is also cool for Hangouts. I've only taken part in one. I think it was one, and it was horrible because I didn't realise till like the last minute that it was like a private one. It was only like 5 of us, and they were actually filming. So you go on like your webcam, and you have like a conversation or whatever, and then it gets uploaded to YouTube. And I looked like absolute rubbish, and I didn't realise. And it was late at night. I was just sat there. I was tired. I had no makeup on. My hair was a mess. I was like, oh. But it was still really fun to take part. Again, like the Twitter parties or Twitter chats, you always learn something new. And if you look on YouTube as well, there's some really great Google Hangouts you can watch, especially about blogging and things. One of them that's really popular, I think, is Holly Homer. I think that's how you pronounce her name, from Kids Activities blog. She is really good with like Facebook. I don't really need that anymore because I deleted my Facebook page, but um yeah, if you watch the Hangouts, and then they do particular ones on different topics like increasing your engagement on Facebook, or how to do something on Facebook, all different things. So yeah, Google Hangouts are really good. What did I say? Oh yeah, so you also on Google Plus you have like circles. So you can like if you're on Facebook and you add like friends or you have followers or something, they kind of all go to they're just lumped together. On Google Plus you can actually separate them. So I might have like people I follow that write parenting blogs. I might follow people that write outdoorsy blogs. I might have people I follow that write recipe blogs. And then I could have friends or family or acquaintances. So I think that's really good. And then when you write a blog post, and if you go on Google to share it, I usually share mine to public. But then you can also, if you wanted to, just share it to the people you want to see. So if I have a group of, and I've only added like craft bloggers to it, then I can share my post just to that group. So it's different to the communities. You're still sharing it on your actual Google Plus profile, but yeah, you can have different categories of people who you want to see different types of posts and things. As I said, it's been ages since I've been on Google Plus, but I loved it when I was on it, used it loads, and got like really good results from it too. And I've only got a few hundred followers. I haven't got thousands or anything, so I think that kind of shows how useful it can be. Hashtags on Google, you can use hashtags as well, and it's not as like crowded as Facebook, so or Twitter. So your stuff like your hashtag kind of stays in view a bit more longer, I find. Um, so yeah, you literally just use the hashtags like you do on Twitter. Um, I think that's it for Google Plus. I really need to have some more reading, do some more reading about Google Plus. And then hopefully I can offer some better insight. And I need to get back to using it as well. It's, I guess, because I don't like schedule posts to Google Plus, I kind of forget about it sometimes. But I love it, and I need to get back to using it. YouTube. This is just a quick one because I don't really use YouTube too much. I only post a video every now and again. What I would say is comment on other videos that you like, and also like I subscribe to a lot of other bloggers' YouTubes, so when they upload videos, I can go and have a look and comment on them and stuff. I see a lot of comments like come follow my subscribe to my channel, or to like some of the bigger YouTubers. People write loads of comments like, oh, can you mention me? Can you subscribe? Blah blah blah. And I find that really off-putting. I would never subscribe to someone's channel who is trying to get subscribers by doing that. I've never ever asked for a subscriber on my channel. I think I have 100, which is okay because I only have like 3 or 4 videos. But yeah, it's kind of like blog commenting, I guess. Comment if you actually have something decent to say, if you enjoyed the video, if you found something helpful, things like that. Then leave a comment and a little thumbs up or something. On YouTube. Oh yeah, on your actual video, you can add links as well as in the like information bar below the video. So don't forget to do that. You can link to other social media networks, your blog, if you mention something in a YouTube video, you can put a little, like, comes up like a little pop-up in the video, and the people that are watching it can click on it. So if I said something like blah blah blah, my blog ugh, my voice my blog post, and then carried on talking, you could have a little like thing pop up to actually link you to that post. The only thing I'd say about that is don't put too many up. It's really frustrating watching a video and it just keeps coming up with these pop-ups, but they are helpful. And then again, if you mention a product or company or brand or person in your video, go over to Twitter, because that's where most people hang out, I guess, and tweet them with the video and tag them and say, hey, I mentioned you in this video, what do you think? Or, oh, I just thought I'd let you know that I mentioned you in this video. And then again, they're more likely to share it. And then also what you can do is you can actually share that video and pin it. What I do is if I post a new video, I usually pin it to the top of my Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that for a couple of days, just so it gets some like views. And also I have a section on my blog. So I used to put in my sidebar, I just had like a text widget, and I'd put my latest video, and I'd put my YouTube video there, and it would stay there for ages. And now I have a little section like my 2 latest videos, and it's under my like recent blog posts. So I have a couple of recent posts, then I have 2 YouTube videos next to each other. They're my like most recent ones, and then underneath I have more like recent posts. So yeah, I find it hard to get my videos seen. So it's just kind of like trying to get them out there and get people to view them. I think there are also like Facebook groups as well for YouTubers where people can sort of give each other tips and like follow, like subscribe to each other's YouTube and stuff like that. I don't know, I'm not in any, but I think there are. Oh, I didn't even see all this. Oh, that's meant to have a space. Okay, I think I said everything about YouTube. So StumbleUpon. Again, it's not one I really use. I used it for maybe like a couple of weeks. I just found I don't really like it. But a lot of bloggers have had quite a lot of success sharing their posts there. What it's basically like, it's, I guess it's kind of like Pinterest. I don't know, but not. So you like click to stumble your post, and then when people are looking through like categories, it just like pops up. Um, but they kind of frown upon you only stumbling your own posts. So find other really cool posts to stumble, and then like stumble a few others, and then yours. So it's kind of mixed in. You're not just stumbling your own stuff. And also, again, on Facebook, I think there are groups and things where other people or other bloggers that use it can stumble each other's stuff and try and help them get things seen. But if you've got a really good post and it goes to like stumble upon, you can actually get loads of views from it. So it's probably something I should do, but I don't really enjoy it. Don't really like the website, so I don't kind of spend time. I'm short on time, so I'm not going to waste it there. But yeah, at least it's definitely worth a try. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about StumbleUpon. And also that reminds me for Pinterest as well. I was gonna say something and I forgot, and now I think I literally just forgot again. That's really annoying. Oh, um, your own posts. Don't pin every post you've ever written to Pinterest. Um, literally things that get pinned on Pinterest, I said it before, are like inspirational things, things with nice pictures. The things that do the best on Pinterest are like tutorials, how to do stuff, or just inspirational posts. If you have kind of like a lifestyle blog, I guess, and you have posts like I do, like maybe quite personal posts or just kind of general posts, like I might post, I think I did a post once like it was bank holiday weekend here in England in the summer, and I just posted a bit about our bank holiday, like what we did together and stuff. And it wasn't very interesting. Like for me, it's a great memory to have on my blog. For other people, who cares really? There's some nice pictures, great, but it doesn't help anyone. It doesn't really inspire anyone. There's not much reason why anyone would pin it, so I don't put it on Pinterest. I literally save my if you look at my Pinterest blog board, I've only got like 40 posts or something because I only started my blog like a year ago. Um, and not it's kind of my blog is a big mix of like personal stuff, and then also I have like how to's and tutorials and things like that, which I do post to Pinterest and they get good shares and things, but I don't I kind of I what's the word? It's not a waste, but it's not. I don't think you really. I think just think about what you're going to pin to Pinterest. Pin stuff that is going to get repinned basically, and not everything does. So Facebook, this one's last because, as I said, I pretty much hate Facebook. I've deleted Facebook. I don't care about Facebook, but I know it's like super super popular. Um, Everyone loves Facebook, so I thought I would include a few things that um, may, may have worked for me when it worked. um, Successful bloggers have mentioned, and things that I've just heard about in passing from like other bloggers recommending it to each other, things like that. So I put post frequently, schedule posts. Um, Basically, some of the like really big bloggers on Facebook, that's what they do. They post a few times a day, um, and what they post is like relevant stuff, not just their own. So they might post like a few, um, like for example, if you're like a recipe blogger, you might post a couple of recipes from other blogs and say, wow, check out this awesome recipe from blah blah blah. Then you might post one of your own posts, then a couple more other ones, things like that. Because the point of Facebook is people like when they click on your page, they want to see it not just your stuff, or I guess maybe sometimes just your stuff, but um, also all sorts of like related things basically. So if you are a recipe blog, all sorts of things like other recipes, maybe you could put some articles about like restaurants or food stuff, just kind of anything that's related, and you can schedule them posts. Apparently Facebook shows your post to even less people when you schedule it using like an outside scheduler. But if you use Facebook's inbuilt schedule function, apparently that works better. And yeah, what was I going to say? Another thing is when you're like posting relevant stuff, if you post things that are doing really well, so if you see someone post or share a picture with a link to a post and it's had like one share and one like, you can share it if you want, that's fine. If you like it, you know, it will look good on your page. But if you see someone that's posted something that's relevant, that's been shared like 2,000 times, commented on 300 times, liked 2,000 times, and you share that, you actually get better reach, meaning more people see that post than the amount of people that see your other posts. So if you share two posts and one of them has a couple of likes and the other one has like 1,000 likes and 1,000 shares, Facebook will show that post to more of your followers. Um, and then if those people then share it from you, it's kind of spreading more. Does that make sense? So those posts are really good to share. Um, Something else that I read about ages ago now, but I thought was really interesting, and it was from Happy Hooligans blog. And Jackie from Happy Hooligans mentioned that she, in her Facebook blog header, you put a picture there, but she actually uses pictures from like blog posts. So if she shares a post, say she shares a like Halloween kids craft with a link to her blog, and then it's like nearly Halloween, so she'll get that picture and then make that her header image. And then loads of people see the header image, think it looks really nice, click on it, and ta-da, it's got a link straight to the blog post. So I think that's a really great idea, and I think it works especially well for like visual blogs, so like kids crafts and also like recipes and things, and photography blogs as well. Um, yeah, I just think that's a really great idea. Personal, people do get personal on Facebook, and they're used to it being like a personal kind of platform. You know, they've got friends and family and things on there. And when pages share personal things, like you know, you're sharing all this great content, blog posts and things, but then if you also share a couple of more personal things, like I'm just thinking, what would you share? I don't know because I don't use it. But yeah, you could share something like if you write a family like parenting blog, you could put like you know, my daughter did this today, or I'm just trying to think. She What did she do? She got a certificate from school today. Isn't that lovely? Just little like snippets into your life and things. Obviously not too personal, but just things, and it helps people, I think, connect with you a bit better as well, and kind of um, think of you as a person rather than like a just a faceless blog. If that makes sense. I'm going to try and talk quickly, even though I have been talking quickly because I've nearly been talking an hour and I can't believe how long I've been talking about this. But anyway, um, share to other pages. So a lot of pages, blog pages on Facebook have what they call Facebook share days. So some of them you can share stuff to any day of the week. Some of them have a specific day where they'll post on there and they'll say, oh, today's my share day. If you've got anything great you want to share on my page, then share it. And then so if you have a good post with a nice picture, you can share it to their wall, and then if they like it, they then share that. Some of them do it so they have like a share day, and then throughout the week they share from their wall those pictures to their page. And you can actually, if it's like a big blog or they have a good Facebook audience, you can actually get a lot of like Facebook followers or a lot of click-throughs to your blog um, from them sharing them posts for you. So that's always good. Um, Follow other pages. So relevant pages like relevant blogs and things you can follow. And again, just drop them a message on their wall, if you really like their blog, if they've written a post that really helped you or really inspired you, um, just things like that. They love to hear it, and I just think of it as like connecting with other bloggers and things, and I just think it's really sweet to do. Um, there was something else I was going to say about that as well. Oh yeah, but don't, if you're gonna message other bloggers and things on their wall, don't message them and say, "This is my Facebook page. Come and like it," or "Come and would you share my Facebook page," or something. Make it personal, make it friendly, make it genuine. Don't just do it to get people to come and like your page, because that's not gonna happen. Um, Ask questions. Okay, yeah, Facebook. One of the big problems of Facebook is getting people to see your posts. And what Facebook does is the more people like and comment on your post, the more it shows them to other people. So if you have 1,000 followers and Facebook is only showing like 10 of your followers your post, that's really frustrating. One of the things that you can do is post questions. So people love answering questions, especially like specific ones. Like I think parenting pages do quite well because people love talking about their kids. And also that's like any group type thing, isn't it? So if you have a page about pets and you can put a question like, how many pets have you got? Loads of people will reply. On like parenting pages, you can put things like, so what type of birth did you have? Oh my god, you'll get so many answers on that, and probably a few arguments too. But it's all really good for engagement and getting your Facebook page seen to more people as well. Um, and then just general questions like, what are your plans for this weekend? Or you could even you could like do a poll and say, and this links to being personal on the page as well. Things like, we're going out for a family meal this weekend. Do you, do you prefer going out on Friday or Saturday nights? Or um, should I wear a dress or trousers and top? Or people like to be helpful, people like to answer questions, people like to get personal and chat. So Facebook's really good for that. It's probably one of the best social networks for that. um Gosh, I haven't stopped talking for an hour. I hope that somebody actually finds this helpful and doesn't get put off by the boring what do you call it, boring plain background thing, and my voice rambling on and on. But I will probably write a post about this, which will be a lot more interesting, I guess. But while it was in my brain, I kind of just wanted to get it out. Um, so if there's anything you would add or maybe change, let me know, because different things work better for different people. And I'm always interested in hearing ways of kind of improving or refining or changing what I do with my blog. And social media is exactly the same. I'm always kind of trying to think of how to make it better, how to make it easier, how to make it more enjoyable. So I'd love to hear anything you have to say on that. Okay, well, that's pretty much it. So let me know what you think.